Before I start the video, if you want more Valorant content, be sure to subscribe as that will help you out a lot. Anyway, enjoy today's topic. Valorant in 2020 was a massive success, giving Riot a lot of opportunities to work on Valorant. Today we're gonna be looking at episode 2 Act 1 and what it will include. So let's start with the release date. The release date is releasing on the January 12th. It will last until March 27th, so that's a lot of time to upgrade your Battle Pass. I also have some pretty wild theories and things we might see, but that we will get onto later. Riot has actually confirmed we're gonna be seeing new skins in the Battle Pass, preferably 2 skin types and a unique knife. Now I definitely doubt that we're gonna be seeing a knife like the Kingdom one again, as those are not as preferred as Karambit one we saw in Act 3. But the Act 1 Battle Passes, Act 2 Battle Passes, and Act 3 Battle Passes will not feature any special animations or VFX. That is to make players purchase those $100 skins, which is completely fine and giving you great value for those $10 to $13 we spend on the Battle Pass. Considering Riot themselves has mentioned that they will not bring the old Battle Passes back until sometime later in the future, it's very safe to assume that we're getting something fresh and new, giving older players and newer players a chance to experience new content. Now, it's very likely possible that the new Battle Pass will feature something for the next agent or potentially the new maps we are getting. A calling card or anything else in that matter, such as a potential lore skin that could feature the next agent, is enough info to actually feature what the next map or agent could be. I'm talking about episode 2, Act 2, and every single other episode will go so forth. This creates a lot of hype and a lot of potential for the leakers to find something. So on my channel I really talked a lot about the new agent, but to recap, this will be an offensive ferrofluid agent, which I might suggest that it will be linked to Shatter. Now this is my own speculation, we don't actually know if it's linked to Shatter from before, but we do have some potential theories out there that could work. I think this agent will work really nicely with the current meta, and considering 6 more agents or 5 more agents coming out in 2021, it's a really good thing. If you ask me, he will be a mix between controlling a side, so for example controlling a spot middle for example, and something like Phoenix where you have to push through. It's definitely most likely possible because the current meta is either defend and hold or super extra rush. And I think there's a time and place where this is acceptable, but it gets stale over time. I'm definitely sure episode 2 with 5 new agents could change that and the meta entirely. For example, Raze and Jett will most likely not get a nerf because they will just be outperformed. Over time, most likely what we're gonna see is just, well, not agents being nerfed, but in ideal scenarios, agents getting left behind. Or agents not getting left behind, but just not being ready for the meta and ranked and tournaments. Just like in League of Legends, where agents or champions for that matter get left behind, the same thing is gonna be happening with Valorant. As soon as we get 30 or even just 20 agents, some agents are simply gonna be forgotten in the dust. And that is completely fine, that is how Valorant works, and more agents means more possibilities in the meta. So take for example Overwatch, a game that has a lot of simple agents, but some get left behind and later brought back, depending on the nerfs and buffs they get. The same thing will be happening with Valorant. Controlling sites is very much welcome right now in episode 2, as I want to see a huge change in meta to make me, install Valorant again after I raged so much reaching Immortal 1. Definitely, let's move on to the maps. Now, for episode 1, I have a spectacular theory, or an example, 2 theories. So the first theory is that because Icebox is out now, we shouldn't be getting Icebox icebox by Act 1, and that is the most likely possible one. You see, if we got something, it would have probably been already announced. Now, it's definitely possible that we get something in the next 12 days for that example, but I doubt it, because Icebox was rushed to give us 5 maps for First Strike. So it's definitely possible that we're gonna be seeing a one map for Act 2 and another map for Act 3. Now this is the most possible theory there is, so they have a lot of time. Now how the maps will look like, to keep it short, I am definitely sure they will be accustomed for the PS5, the new next gen, and the mobile versions. We can't deny that, and the way the Icebox is built, it's built for consoles. It's not built as much for PCs. It's definitely playable on PCs, but it's more built towards the new strong machines. And yes, Icebox was very controversial, but Riot actually stepped forward and fixed that. They released new updates for Icebox, released new changes everybody wanted, and Valorant is back at its prime growth. I think it's really nice seeing that Valorant has a lot of potential by actually listening to their community instead of just going on their own and killing their own game. Now, it's still very controversial for some people for Valorant to be releasing on consoles for game support, but that is not the topic of the video. The topic of this video is that Valorant must be prepared for Valorant maps to release on the fresh gen. It's very important to know that these are gonna be free on a new gen, and this brings a lot of players and a complete new community to play Valorant. Also expect a good patch change providing not really nerfs or buffs, but simple fixes and quality of life changes. I'm definitely sure we're gonna be seeing more game modes, and I like that. I seriously like that. Let me know what you want to see on the new maps. Do you want to see a new agent that shoots flames or anything like that? Just let me know down in the comments. Peace, guys.